6:15 now, and on any given day, about 3,000 people are incarcerated in Alberta. That number includes repeat offenders who've been in the prison system for years. A program at the Fort Saskatchewan Correctional Centre is giving some offenders a chance to change their futures.
The program is coordinated by NorQuest College and involves partnerships with NAIT, the Solicitor General, and Alberta Advanced Education. We went inside the Correctional Centre to meet some of the people hitting the books behind bars.
At first glance, it looks like any other college classroom. But beyond the books and papers, these students have something else in common. They're serving time at the Fort Saskatchewan Correctional Centre.
Ultimately, it's their choice. It's their decision to turn it around.
Offenders can earn a spot in the Tri-Centre. It offers courses in academic upgrading, personal development, and skills like small engine repair. Training that increases their chances of staying out of the system.
We have long wait lists right now.
Inside these walls, higher learning is in high demand. An average of 60 to 70 people a day take classes, out of a centre population that these days hovers around 540.
We're struggling to meet the needs now, and I think that with more resources we could definitely do more.
Though the budget has stayed the same, the prison population is up. Those pressures are expected to ease somewhat when the new Edmonton Remand Centre opens. There, Kevin Bell will have a whole new set of students.
They want to be in programming, so it can be used, the programming can be used to encourage good behavior.
Bell says in his 10 years here, there's never been a security emergency in the Tri-Centre. Outside agencies who deliver programs receive special training.
To explain to them that, you know, why you can't leave your pen laying around, why paper clips can't be left around is a silly example, because those could be used to pick locks.
Last year, 1,410 courses were taken. In some cases, an offender will take several courses on a path that may include years behind bars. 30-year-old Amy Hogg has been in and out of jail since 2000.
Drugs. Every time I come here, it's for drugs.
Hogg is one of those offenders who's taken several Tri-Centre courses. Right now, she's completing a building service certificate, aiming for a better life once released.
Oh, it makes a world of a difference. It gives you something to do, something to focus on. It doesn't seem like you're just wasting your time. It gives you something to work forward. It lets you interact with other people, like socially, which is really something that you miss a lot when you're in jail.
Christine Kusick is also 30 years old, serving time for fraud.
I made a lot of decisions of hurting people that I didn't even know, taking parts of their life away from them to try to better myself at the time. It was an addiction of money as well as anything else, doing the fraud.
After 12 years in and out of jail, she says she hopes to put training in print and design to good use.
I hope to be completely out of this crime scene and away from drugs, and I plan to have a normal life. I will have a normal life.
And on part 2 of Books Behind Bars, we'll meet a former student of the Tri-Centre. She's a real success story. She actually asked to stay behind bars a little longer in order to complete an educational course. We'll have that for you coming up tomorrow.
Yesterday, we introduced you to a program at the Fort Saskatchewan Correctional Centre that gives offenders the chance to get an education behind bars. The courses range from personal development, like anger management, to high school diplomas and job skills like building maintenance.
And today, we want you to meet a woman who started her education while serving a jail sentence. She credits that program and the help of many people along the way for the success she's now enjoying.
In this classroom, like any other, the goal is higher learning. Here, there's also the hope that education will help these students stay out of the prison system.
To not see them back, or to see them back 6 years later instead of 6 months later, I mean, it's all, the measurement for success is somewhat relative that way.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Over at the University of Alberta, a student who has no plans to study behind bars again. Marcella Wright was once homeless, addicted to crack.
Nothing else really mattered.
Tired of years in and out of jail for drug trafficking, she made the decision to study through NorQuest College at the Fort Saskatchewan Correctional Centre. In 2008, when the time came to be released, she asked to stay put and finish a 7-week course in print and design.
If I didn't finish it, then it would have been another failure. I would have been out and I would have felt, awful, and, I wouldn't have had some sort of ground to stand on for myself. So I used that course, actually, the print design, as ground, as a basis for my education. Even though I was in prison, it was important I did.
It can be controversial, using tax dollars to educate offenders.
My retort to that would be, you know, we know we're spending taxpayers' dollars, but we feel we're spending taxpayers' dollars effectively, and we're actually saving you guys money in the long run.
Well, if we're not in school, we're sitting on the unit trading stories on how to become better criminals.
The program worked for Marcella Wright. Once released, she continued as a NorQuest student. There, she was able to access student funding.
It was actually all new to me, being back in society the way I was, with an apartment, with school, with responsibilities, and you know, I needed help, so I asked for help and they gave it to me.
She became a student ambassador, and now she's in second-year studies at the University of Alberta, taking women's studies, history, native studies, and working on the Métis archival project. She's also become a distance runner, a way to balance her physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional selves.
Every step you take is moving forward, and when you're like, even the way you position your hands when you're running, you're pointing pretty much in the direction you're going, which is forward.
Wright's forward path includes a dream of working in the other side of the court system as an Aboriginal liaison, giving support to people like her who needed a little help getting back on track.
And Marcella Wright acknowledges many different people with helping her to get to where she is now. We mentioned in the story she received some emergency funding while she was at NorQuest College, and there's a movement underway to help even more students like her. Coming up next hour, we'll hear more about the 1,000 Women, A Million Possibilities campaign. Wendy Kinsella, former chair of NorQuest Board of Governors and fundraiser extraordinaire, is with us this morning. Wendy, thank you for joining us. So let's talk just briefly about the Tri-Center, because those programs are administered through NorQuest College.
Yeah, absolutely. Those programs are, and they're very important. Marcella is one of our big success stories, but she's not the only success story. And we have a number of students, as you heard the numbers today and yesterday, we're oversubscribed for that program. But if you really want to help people turn their lives around, the old adage is true, you have to get an education. And so these people get an education, they come out, they're really rehabilitated into society. And when they get to NorQuest after that, they're really motivated to learn. We have over a 90% success rate of the students who come to NorQuest College.
And it's a whole variety of students who go to NorQuest College. You've got a lot of new Canadians, a lot of single mothers, people who really, really want to be getting an education.
Yeah, our students are very motivated. We have new Canadians, we have a number of Aboriginal students, big cadre of Aboriginal students. We have, like we say, multi-generational Canadians. There isn't really a good term for them, but our own children who have, you know, possibly made the wrong decisions or had some bad luck, and they all come back to the college. And again, I say they're motivated. Our average age is just over 30 years of age, and they're people who really want to succeed, and we do everything. I have to credit the college for doing everything it can to help these people succeed.
And where this emergency funding comes in, I mean, I've heard about people who walk 2 hours to get to class. They want so badly to be at school, and the funding goes to things like a bus pass.
Well, that's true. We have people, you can see the people who've been in this program who've been in jail are going to come out. They don't have funds. New Canadians are very short of funds. People who are trying to turn their lives around are very short of funds. And the province generously gives us funding for emergencies, but it's just not sufficient. So we're trying to raise money because we did have a student who was walking 2 hours each way to get to school. Never missed a day of school, absolutely exhausted because they couldn't afford a bus pass. Sometimes it's childcare. There are always children, or there are often children in our cafeteria while usually mom is up in the classroom and they're downstairs coloring or playing with toys. They're pretty good kids because nobody ever acts out down there. But students will do anything, and they will do everything to get an education. They will couch surf because they don't have a damage deposit. So they'll stay on anybody's couch, and they never miss class. They don't miss school, and they succeed in great numbers.
Amazing. So the 1,000 Women, A Million Possibilities movement is trying to generate $1 million endowment fund. Give us an update on that campaign.
This idea is to join women in a network of philanthropy to raise $1 million. That will form a bursary, and the funding that flows from that bursary is going to supplement that emergency funding so that students who need a damage deposit, students who sometimes just need food, students who need bus passes or any of those emergencies that occur will have them. So the theory is if 1,000 women give us $1,000 each, we would have $1 million for our bursary. And the response has been absolutely overwhelming. We're well over $600,000 now. It's only been 18 months. Women are nurturing, we are caring. Now, we've got lots of nurturing and caring guys who've given us money too. But the focus was to get women together and to raise this funding, and we're well on the way.
It's been awesome to watch it grow and start, and I know the $1 million will be achieved. Let's give people a sense of how they can help. For more information on the 1,000 Women, A Million Possibilities Endowment Fund, how you can get involved, how you can donate, how you can hold an event, head on over to our website, globaltvedmonton.com. There's everything you need to know there.